Hello, a very warm welcome on the forum, your program on Canal to English. In the edition today, we are going to be receiving as host the president of FOCU. FOCU is an association with the objective of promoting the planting or the domestication of a plant, popularly known as Eru, but whose scientific name is Nyetum Africanus. I hope I have given the rightful appellation of its scientific name. Well, please do not go away. In a while, we will be with the president, and she's going to tell you why they have decided to domesticate Eru, which today has become a staple not just for people of the Manu division in the Southwest province, but to all Cameroonians and beyond. Please do not go away. A very warm welcome here on Canal de English once again. To those of you who are just tuning in, you are on to Canal de English, the only English language, fully English language program, television in this country. We know it's a bilingual country, but for so long, we have often had television station where we speak both French and English, but here is purely English. And our guest today is Mrs. Jane Tarkang, who is the president of FOCU. FOCU is an association whose elementary or basic aim is to domesticate Eru, whose scientific name is Nyetum Africanus. Mrs. Jane Tarkang, it's a pleasure to have you here today as guest.
Thank you, Smith. Thank you, Canal to crew, for inviting me to come and throw a lot of light on the domestication of Eru in Manu division in Cameroon. Yes, FOCU is doing the domestication of Eru. FOCU is a group of Manu women. It is a network of Manu women's groups and associations, and it is there to help the women improve on their livelihood. It has other
I can help you.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand, because you are trying to tell the televiewers that the foundation or the nucleus, it comes from the Manu division. You have the objective of trying to domesticate Eru, right?
Yes.
Now, but before deciding to embark on this ambitious plan of domestication, what televiewers may want to know is that what really had or inspired you people to embark on this grand ambition that of domesticating a wild plant?
Yes. The first thing is I will just tell you about the objectives of the group, okay. FOCU.
Yep.
The woman or the girl child were the nucleus of the formation of this group. We wanted to provide assistance to the girl child, to research into and develop something to see why the woman is underprivileged, to provide subsidies to women farmers, coordinate women activities because they were just scattered. They did not know what to do. So we wanted to coordinate those activities. And finally, to undertake and do poverty alleviation for the women.
Okay. Poverty alleviation for the women. Now, because when I hear your presentation, you talk mostly of the Manu division. Now, when you're talking about Manu, do you have any ambition of expanding what you're doing, or you just simply want to focus in the Manu division?
Not really only in Manu division, but we must start somewhere. When we start with Manu, we will spread out to other divisions. Not even that. If you look at the work we have done so far, we have dotted help around the southwest province. We have done snail farming around Manyo, it is true, but we have done mushroom farming in Limbe. We have done cassava farming in Kumba. And then we have given loans to women, soft loans, so that they work and they bring back the money without any interest.
Without any interest.
Yes.
So if I understand well, madam, without interrupting you, FOCU is not just focused trying to domesticate Eru, or what they call scientifically Nyetum africana or Africanus. I don't know if it is Africana or Africanus. Is it Africana or what?
Africanum.
Africanum. Okay, Nyetum Africanum.
Yes.
Now, you, beside the domestication of Nyetum Africanum, you also act as a kind of cooperative, isn't? Am I wrong?
Exactly. We are going to be that.
Okay.
We are not yet a cooperative, but we are going to be that.
Okay.
This Eru domestication had been done before, but it was not really done
successful.
Well because there was no money. We decided on it again when we wrote a project, and NEPAD decided to sponsor us.
Exactly. So if I understand well, it is not the first time that a plan has been hashed out to domesticate Eru or Nyetum Africanus, Africanum. This time around, the difference between the first project is that this time around you have the fundings. Am I wrong?
Yes, you are right.
Okay.
You are right.
You have the funding. And where does the funding come from?
From NEPAD Spanish loan. It is a loan which helps empower the African woman.
To empower the African woman. So, and now you have come to Douala. And why are you in Douala now?
We have done the project for almost 3 years, and the project has come to an end. So our partners, our sponsors, our donors came to Douala so that we can close the project. The money was finished. They said they could not help us again. They have helped us stand, but we ourselves can now take over, or we can ask other donors to help us continue with what we have already done.
What you've already done. So if I understand, it was a 3 years project, or 3 years financing project, is that?
It was a 2 years financing project.
Exactly.
But, administrative bottlenecks, we had to do it for almost 3 years.
Okay, for almost 3 years. And if I understand well, now you guys are up and running. You can now you're autonomous.
Well, autonomous is too much. We are managing.
Which means that you are in need of extra funding from somewhere.
Yes, we are in need of extra funding. Right now, we have 4 farms. The women know what to do. But we have seen that fresh Eru and cooking in restaurants does not fetch much as if we dried the Eru and sent it out of our national territories. Or if
I understand well, the Eru being consumed locally doesn't fetch enough money, the same as the Eru that is dried and then exported, right?
Sure.
Have you ever carried out an export-oriented project?
No, not yet.
And what is hindering you from doing so?
Finances, of course. And the farms have not yet started yielding much Eru.
Exactly.
Yes, the farms have not yet started. We have taught the women how to plant, and the farms it is growing. Eru is not something like water leaf or green vegetable that takes about 2 weeks and you can harvest. Eru is something that takes about 4 years for it to grow.
Exactly. Now, you said somewhere that you have 5 farms.
4.
4 farms. Where are those 4 farms located?
They are in the 4 subdivisions of Manyu. There is one farm in Binjong in the Upper Bayang. There is one farm in Okoyong in Saint Mamfe subdivision. There is one farm in Bache in Akwaya subdivision. And there is one farm in Osing in Eyumojok subdivision.
Eyumojok subdivision. All of them in Manyu.
In Manyu.
So the epicenter of your project is the Manyu division.
Yes, because we must start from somewhere.
Exactly.
And we chose to start from Manyu.
Exactly. Now, I want to ask you a question. Manyu is not very far from neighboring Nigeria. Have you not thought of exporting your product in Nigeria?
I told you before that that one is in the pipeline. We will export our products in Nigeria to Nigeria when they are ready for exportation.
When they are ready for exportation. You are saying it, but when you go to Victoria, what they call to the Limbe, you have a lot of boats carrying Eru or Nyetum Africanum to Nigeria. Don't you think that already, while you are planning for that export, it's already taking place already?
It is taking place, but the women are suffering. The buyers are cheats. Because when those women take their fresh Eru to the ports, they waste time. The buyers come and complain and waste time, and the Eru gets dried and rotten. By the time these men, the people are buying the Eru, it is worth nothing, almost nothing.
Okay, which means those buyers do cheat those women.
Yes.
And your role now is to empower those women to make them
Yes.
become more autonomous.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Madam Jane Tarkang, you are the president. If you had to conclude, because you are not here alone, we have done something extraordinary because we think that as partners, we need to empower women. We also need to encourage them to become more autonomous. Hence, we have received you today. But one final question from you. What is a message that you as a president, you can say rapidly, have toward those people who want to finance you, the government and external source of income or financing?
I will tell them that they should not be afraid. The machine is already on and it is moving. We cannot stop anymore. Let them not be afraid to finance us. We have machines that we have kept for shredders. We have dryers, both electric and big ovens that are there. Once they start financing us, we will succeed in our objective.
Okay, Ms. Jane Tarkang, it was a pleasure having you, but please do not go away. Stay tuned on the programs of Canal de English. In the place of Madam Jane Tarkang right now, you'll be having the focal point, the secretary in charge of finances of this same association, FOCU.
Thank you.
Still on to Canal de English, and the program you're watching is still the forum. Exceptionally today, you've seen that we have 2 guests, and we are doing that because we think that it's also very important to empower women. And you heard the president of FOCU said here that most women who grow Eru are outwitted or cheated by the buyers, who are mostly men. And this time around, we are receiving Mrs. Array Helen, she is a focal point, and precisely she is in charge of finances of FOCU. It's a pleasure to have you here, madam.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith.
How are you doing?
Good day. I'm fine. And you?
I'm doing fine.
Okay.
We have had your president here, and we think that with you, we are going to talk about what is very important, finances.
Yes.
Since the project began, can you tell the listeners or those watching you right now that it has not been like a kind of sinking fund where people put in an investment and then it's worthless at the end? Has it been good financially?
I think from the start, as the president formally said, it's not the first time FOCU is trying to, or has tried to carry out this cultivation of arrow. I think this is about the third time. The first two times we never succeeded. This is the first time we're succeeding in actually domesticating, producing seedlings from cuttings in our own place now.
Wow. Because
when we started this project this third time, we were fortunate enough to be funded by the NEPAD Spanish Fund authorities, whose objective is to empower the African woman. They gave us some funds, which we started by buying seedlings from Akonolinga to take to Mamfi. Unfortunately, because of climatic differences, these seedlings really didn't succeed. But I want to tell you that FOCU succeeded this time around to be able to produce seedlings, and we have distributed them to our women. This product, this plant, Eru, we know it grows wild in Stock City Forest. So to get it, sincerely to get it grow behind houses or to cause it to grow, to domesticate it, has not been easy.
Now tell us a secret, because you said the first seedlings were bought in Akonolinga. And if I understand right geographically, Akonolinga is in the south of Cameroon.
In the center region.
In the center of the central region. Thank you very much. Now, so is there a very wide climatic differences between the central region of Cameroon and the southwest region?
I want to think that not too much, but the soil type too played a role on the seedlings we bought from Akonolinga and transported to Mamfi. Yes, as the president formally said, we have 4 pilot farms, 4 pilot demonstration farms, with a big seed bank. At the level of the seed bank, we do cuttings to get the seedlings. I think the people who were at our exhibition saw the seedlings we had. These are the seedlings we are multiplying and supplying to and sharing free of charge to our women back home.
Okay.
As I said, the NEPAD Spanish Fund for African Women's Empowerment gave us some funds which helped us to do all this up to this stage where we are today.
Okay. Now the question we want to ask, we understand it is to empower women, but what really prompted you people to focus only on women? Is there a special or a peculiar fear, or what is happening?
No. The Manu Women's Network has as objective, the first thing, to take care of the woman and the girl child. And there is no way you can take care of the woman and the girl child without trying to empower them, to alleviate poverty, because the problems we have back home is poverty. And it is the woman that bears all this, take care of the family, feeding, and all that.
And has there been some changes between when you began the program? I mean, changes in...
I think a lot. I'm not cutting you.
Never
I'm
mind,
just too excited.
Exactly.
A lot. People didn't believe that Eru, which grows in wild stocks, could be domesticated. But at this stage, they are so excited. They are overwhelmed. If you see the way people are interested to even know how this Eru is gotten from leaves up to forming roots and seedlings to grow, I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
That's
yes.
good. Another question I want to ask now, because I spoke about it with with the president of your association. Have you also now started thinking about expanding out of Manu Division 1 and 2, those Eru, or what you call Netum Africanum, to export it beyond Cameroon?
Yes. I just want to take you a little bit. Eru in our area, we have 2 types there. There is Netum Africanum and Netum bulgisianum.
Wow.
Those are the 2 species. These are their scientific names. Yes. And the one that is bulgisianum is the one that has those large, thick green leaves. And Africanum is the one that has a little elongated leaves, yes, but not too thick as the first species I said.
Exactly.
And the one in our area has more taste. Africanum has more, Natum Africanum has a better taste.
A better taste
yes.
than...
That's why you see people like eating Eru
Yes.
from Manu division, the way it is prepared, and that flavor that comes out of it. Yes.
Exactly. Let me ask you another question. I don't know if it's a myth or a legend or something that people talk about Eru. People who come from the Manu division
Yes.
do claim that if you eat Eru,
You have sense.
yes, but that's not exactly what I wanted to ask you. Yeah, you become very intelligent, but it seems as if you eat Eru, you have a kind of, you don't die. If you die, you can resurrect.
Oh my God.
Is it true or false? Or just a myth to talk about?
Yeah, we're out of the whole thing. Yes, people from Manu, as it is said, but I want to say it's not only people from Manu.
Exactly.
Yes, it's not only people from Manu. Do what they say, resurrect. I know it's only Jesus Christ who resurrected.
Yeah, it seems as if the Manu people themselves do.
The ghost thing,
Exactly.
that's it.
Is it because of Eru?
That's what I hear as I grew up.
Okay.
That is the reason.
All right, but now the other question I want to, now in terms of, because your president was saying that it was a 2 years project, because of administrative bottlenecks, I think it expanded to 3 years. Now that the project is perhaps over, in terms of finances, how do you intend, because you are all alone right now, how do you intend to continue expanding?
I want to say that FOCU is an association which does a lot of things to raise income, to generate income. We're not going to end at this stage. We're going to continue as we had done before. We'll lobby with some other funding bodies to get more money to continue with the project. We won't end at this stage.
You won't end at this
Oh,
stage?
no.
You only lobby from external donors?
Not only from external donors.
Has the Cameroonian government been able to help you?
I think, yes, at one point, the Cameroonian government, the ministry, at that time was Ministry of Forestry and Environment. It wasn't separated. They did a lot to help us. That was the very first time we started the domestication in Manu Division with the collaboration of the Limbe Botanic Garden.
Good. Now, another question, that's very good. Is the problem, are you domesticating Eru simply because you want to domesticate, empower women, or is it because of the destruction of the forest?
I think Eru from our stocks, from the wild stocks in Manu Division, is disappearing much.
Because of the
because of logging and unsustainable methods that it is being harvested. So this domestication is going to, during the trainings, during the capacity building workshops, we've trained women how to actually domesticate and how to harvest sustainably, so that if you have your plants in your own farm, you'll be able to know what to do to keep them there forever and ever.
Exactly, which means that when you're talking about sustainable development, so you also have an eye on what is going to happen in Paris, the Earth Summit that is going to take place in Paris, right?
Yes.
And will people of FOCU be invited, because you already have an experience on sustainable development, you have a word or you have something to say. Has the government included you in their project of going to Paris?
For now, we don't know. For now, we don't know. We don't know.
You would have been happy,
We
right?
would have loved to be there. We would have loved to be there.
To share your own idea.
To share our experiences on this particular plant. Because Eru is eaten worldwide. It's not only in Manu Division. It's not just because it represents the traditional values of the Manu man, but it has a lot of nutritional values, medicinal values, socioeconomic, and so many.
And now, in terms of finances, you say you have various sources of raising funds, right?
Yes.
Which are the other? Can you give us one or two?
We write proposals and send to external bodies. We write proposals and send to the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Forestry and Wildlife, and the Ministry of Environment. And we also do our own contributions from our various groups, because FOCU is made up of, FOCU is an umbrella group that covers all groups of women in Manu Division in Cameroon and out.
And can you have an estimate of
I think FOCU has more than 250 groups and associations.
250 groups and associations, very powerful. Now, madam, we are going to the end of the program. If you had a particular or special message that you wanted to pass out to the government of Cameroon, to people around the world and other external donors who are interested in sustainable development of what you're doing, what are the messages, or what message would you want to pass out to them?
I would like to let my Cameroonian government know that this plant, which produces or brings much money to this country, particularly to the farmers, is disappearing. I'm asking the government, pleading that they should do something, not only in Manyu Division, but in other areas where this product is found, like in the center, in the south, so that its domestication could be encouraged and for us to be able to sustain this plant from extinct.
Thank you very much, madam. It was a great pleasure having you both here today. First, we had as guests Mrs. Jane Tarkang, and now the person with whom I'm speaking is Mrs. Array Helen, who is the financial secretary of FOCU. That is a focal point. And for those of you who have been watching this program, you have to understand that Cameroon doesn't have only cocoa, coffee, and tea or timber. They also have Eru or Nyetum Africanum as a source of income for this country. Until tomorrow, it was a pleasure being with you. Please do not go away. Stay tuned to programs being broadcast here on Canal 2 English.